All right, good afternoon again. This is Maggie. I am one of the trainers at the association, and in the chat you have Christy with you, another trainer at the association, who will be answering your questions as I go through the class. So this is social media part 3, and in this class we do talk about your LinkedIn profile. And I'll show you obviously how to edit and modify your profile, how to edit the link to your profile so that you can customize it, how you can download contacts, because in LinkedIn you can have a combination on your network of current, past customers, colleagues, maybe coworkers from previous jobs. And so from time to time, it's nice to download that information and maybe upload it to your CRM, and start sending those, drip campaigns and those recently listed and just sold, and just kind of increase your database that way. So I do want to show you how you can download that information from LinkedIn. We'll jump into Instagram. So I'll switch over to my phone at that point, and I'll show you how Instagram works. I'll show you the main differences between, or why you should have a business account as opposed to just a regular Instagram account. I'll show you how to link your Instagram to your Facebook, so that when you post a picture on Instagram, you can have it just automatically go over to Facebook as well. We'll also talk about Instagram stories, and really important to talk about that, especially now, because Instagram does have a live feature, just like Facebook has a live feature. And so for those of you that are hosting open houses, or virtual open houses or virtual tours, it's nice to kind of know how to jump in there, where to go, and how it works. Okay, so as I go along, if I mention any classes or any other products or anything like that, Christy will be in the chat kind of just feeding you that information. This is being recorded, and it will be edited and posted to both miamirealtorslive.com and youtube.com/miamitrainers. You can go to either one of those sites whenever you'd like and watch any of the videos that we have available for you. So it's on-demand training on your schedule. You can watch it as many times as you'd like. It's always there. All right. So we are going to go ahead and get started with LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, I've already logged into mine. It's very easy to create a LinkedIn account if you haven't already. Basically, you just create it with an email address and create a password. Now, everything that you have done in social media, if you've attended our classes, we're constantly talking about making sure that your branding is the same across the board. So, for example, if I really quickly just show you my Facebook, it's, my name and my title. If I go to Instagram, it's the same thing, my name and my title. So I always encourage our members when they attend our social media classes to make sure that you're naming yourself the same across all social media platforms, because that also helps build your brand. So when someone goes to Google you, they can find you. However, LinkedIn is like your digital resume online. So it's not necessarily where you would name yourself with your title, because you've obviously held other jobs in the past, and or you may hold other jobs currently. So this is where you would list yourself as just yourself, not necessarily worrying about that title, but in that job experience, you would make sure to list that. So when you do log into LinkedIn, or once you've created your LinkedIn account, across the top you have a search bar. And this search bar allows you to search for people so that you can start connecting to them and build your network. It searches for jobs because they do have jobs that can be posted, and you can also post jobs if you're seeking employees. You can search the content, search for companies, schools, groups, events. And so you type in the search bar and it'll pull up the results. Our home tab, or our home button, is where we currently are. It will always bring you back to this screen. My network would be the network of people that you have on LinkedIn. It would also be where you would see any pending invitations that have been sent to you if someone wishes to connect with you. Jobs is where you can search for jobs. Again, if you're seeking employment, they do have opportunities posted here. If you are seeking employees, you can also post that. Messaging, because there is a built-in messaging feature where you can privately message people on LinkedIn, your notifications, me, which is where your settings would be and where we would go to edit your profile. Now this homepage does have my information on the left-hand side. And then in the center, I have the option of creating a post or writing a post. Now, when I write a post, I can include a picture, a video, a document, or I can even write an article, which is very similar to maybe writing a blog post. So for those of you that are blogging, you can either link your blog in your post, or you can just copy and paste and create an article on LinkedIn as well. Just food for thought, not saying that it has to be that way. Some people don't blog, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if I wanted to start a post, I could go ahead and just click on start a post, decide who I want to see it, or who I would like to expose this to. So sometimes I might post something that's not as professional. LinkedIn has this tendency of being very professional, very serious. Maybe I want to post a funny little picture and I only want my network to see it. You know, I can go ahead and determine who's going to see it. I can add hashtags. Hashtags are important. It adds, or it can increase the visibility of your posts, because when people search for things, they're searching not just for the content of what's written, but also for hashtags. So I can add hashtags. Now, if you they have like little templates down here. So if you're celebrating an occasion, if you want to create a poll, offer help, find an expert, or share your profile, you can go ahead and do so. You have your pictures, your video, and your documents, and then you would click on post and off it goes. It's that easy. If you would like to see what is being posted by others, you can, once you've created that network and connected with them on LinkedIn, in the center, you would start to see those posts, okay? And then for each post, you can always, here's one from Miami Commercial, I can like it, I can leave a comment, I can share it, or I can send it privately to someone. There are also little prompts down here. It's just like the templates for your post. So, you know, if you just want to say thank you, you can go ahead and click on thank you and it's automatically going to post. So you have little auto-generated phrases beneath each one. On the right-hand side, you have headlines. So over here, I'll see headlines and then any profiles or pages that are being promoted for businesses. Now, once you have added in yourself to LinkedIn, the first thing you should do is update your profile and make sure all of that information is there before you start inviting people to connect. Because if you invite them and your profile's empty, they're less likely to accept that invitation, correct? So the first thing that I would recommend is you click on me and you can go to view profile. And once you are here, you can go to add a profile section and go through all of this and add it in, or you could scroll down, and as you scroll, when you find the pencil, you can edit that section. So if I were to just click on add profile section, I've already completed my introduction, but your introduction is basically like an abstract about you. It's a paragraph about you. In about, I've also completed this, but again, this is your basic information, including your contact information. So really important to have here is obviously your contact information and then your background as well. So if I go to background and I click on work experience, I can start to add in all of my work experience. So I would add in mandatory, the title that I have or held at that job, the name of the company, when I started and when I ended. And that's it. You don't have to add anything else. If you wanted to, you could go ahead and add in the employment type. Was it full-time, part-time, etc., the location, but those are optional. All you need, and I would sit down with my resume, and if you don't have your resume, just jot it down. They will automatically organize this in chronological order, the same way that you should on a resume, with your most recent experience at the top. So that's why they ask for the start and end date. It allows them to organize things. All right. Now, you can add in a headline, which is where I just specify, again, the title for the job, and then a description where you can, add bullet points or describe what it is that job entailed and what it is you are responsible for completing in that job or in that position. Now, if you have external work, sometimes certain jobs have portfolios of, work, like graphic designers. You can go ahead and either upload those documents, those pictures, those videos, or you can add a link to it if you have it housed maybe on a website. So if you wanted to add any artifacts to back up what it is you were doing in that position or what it is you do, you can go ahead and do so. And then you would click on save. So again, that was under add a profile section. I went to background and I clicked on work experience so that I could go ahead and add in all of those jobs that I've held in the past and what I'm currently doing. Now, for those of you that would also like to add your education, beneath background, you have education. And again, the only thing that's mandatory here is what school you attended. You don't have to add anything else. You could literally just list the school and save it and be done. But if you would like to be hyper specific, you can obviously load your degree, your field of study, when you started, when you finished, any activities and extracurriculars, a description, again, upload. So if you want to go as far as scanning your diploma and uploading that, you can, or a link. And then you would save and continue to add your education. So again, that was still under background where it says add a profile section, and we were talking about education. Licenses and certifications. You are all licensed real estate sales associates in the state of Florida, so you can go ahead and add that in. When I click on licenses and certifications, this is also where I would add in any certifications or designations like the PSA or SRS, CIPS, the acronyms continue, right? But for those of you that are interested in adding in the fact that you are licensed in the state of Florida, you're a licensed real estate sales associate, you can go ahead and where it says name, you can type in real estate. You're a real estate broker or sales agent. You're a sales agent. If you're a broker, you select that. The issuing organization is not Miami Association of Realtors. It is not Florida Realtors. It is not National Association of Realtors. Those organizations did not issue your license. Those are not the organizations that you are going to use to renew your license. You got your license, or it was issued by the Department of, it's DBPR, Department of Business. It's the Florida one. I should specify that. And unfortunately, you cannot, there it is. You cannot just type in DBPR or Florida DBPR. You do have to type out the actual name. So as you start to type Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation, you will see it, and then you can just select it. And that's all you need to add in your license or to show that you are licensed, and you can save it and add in other licenses and or certifications. Now, if you would like, optional, you can add in when it was issued, when it expires. Your credential ID would be your license number, which is public knowledge, and your credential URL, you can, when you look yourself up, you can pull up your records. You can maybe add that link in here. Again, entirely optional and up to you. But minimum, the name of your license or the license that you have and who issued it, okay? But that's also very important for you. So under background, you also have volunteer experience as you want, if you want, but really important, as I mentioned, make sure you load your work experience. Make sure that you, if you have any education, you load that, and licenses and certifications, go ahead and add those in. Under skills, you can add in specific skills, like if you're proficient in Microsoft Office. Under accomplishments, you can add in any of your publications, patents, honors, and awards. Under additional information, you can request a recommendation. So once you have loaded all of your work experience, and I would do that first, I can request a recommendation. So if I wanted a recommendation from a previous supervisor, I would go ahead, or from a previous customer, I would go ahead to add a profile section. I would click on additional information and click on request a recommendation. Now, who am I asking? I'm asking people on LinkedIn, so you need to make sure that they have a LinkedIn profile. Let's say I wanted to ask Connie. Connie is one of the other trainers. There's Connie. It then asks for my relationship. Did she manage me? Did she report to me? But one of the options was Constance or Connie was a client of mine. So what you can do is you can use LinkedIn to gather those testimonials from customers. So once you have finished the transaction, you can go ahead and request a recommendation. And once they've posted it, because this is a public forum, you can then share it. So But I could go ahead and select what the relationship was. In this case, let's say Connie was a client of mine, and then I can select the position I held at the time. I would select the one that states that I'm a realtor or a realtor's associate, click on next. It autofills a message, but I can go ahead and click in here and type something else out. It was a pleasure working with you. Thank you so much for your business. If you would be so kind, would you please leave me a recommendation? I click on send and off it goes to Connie on LinkedIn. Now, once they have filled out the recommendations or acknowledge your request for recommendation, it will be on your profile. So Connie's already given me a recommendation, and this is what she had to say. And it tells you when the recommendation was issued, and it tells you what the relationship was. So it's letting you know who Connie is, what she does, and then it says that Connie was my senior teammate or team member. She holds seniority, okay? So again, that was under add profile section, and that was under additional information, okay? You also have, aside from accomplishments and additional info, supported languages, you can go ahead and add your profile in another language. So if you speak multiple languages and or work with consumers from other countries, you can go ahead and kind of duplicate your profile and have it appear in that language, okay? So again, make sure once you're in LinkedIn, if you haven't been in here in a while, or if it's your first time, that you click on view profile and that you go ahead and click on add profile section so that you can work on your intro, your about, and it'll kind of walk you through it step by step, but really important in your background, include that work experience and those licenses. And then once you have worked with someone, you can go ahead and request recommendations so that you can post those. Now, if you would like to edit this background image, there's a little pencil that I can click on. So again, this background image is the Miami skyline. I can click on that and I can go ahead and delete this picture, change it out for something else. If I click on my picture, same thing, I can go ahead and kind of delete this, swap it out, or I can adjust it and edit it further. Got tongue-tied there. Okay, now, you should also edit your public profile's URL, which means the link to your profile. On the right-hand side of your profile, it does say edit public profile and URL. All right, now, someone asked if there's any way to protect yourself against identity theft when putting in all of this information. Christy did mention that there are best practices. As such, you can keep your profile private, or when you post, make sure you're only posting so that those that are in your network can view. Also, she mentioned making sure that wherever you log in, you log out. So if you're using a public computer, you log out. Also, your connections should be people that you either know or are connected to you. Maybe it's a friend of a friend or a friend of a colleague. But I would always recommend reviewing someone's profile before accepting the connection request, before accepting that invitation to connect on here. Okay, where do you go to add another language to your profile? I have under accomplishments, my languages. So if I learn to speak another language, I can go ahead to accomplishments, and under accomplishments, you have all of these options, but languages is right here. So someone just asked, how can I add in the languages that I speak? And I would go to add a profile section, click on accomplishments, and click on languages. If you would like to add your profile in another language, the whole thing, you would click on supported languages at the end and add your profile in another language. So what I was mentioning was editing the public profile and the URL so that you can customize it, because usually the profile URL, that link to your profile, is it's going to just be maybe your name and random numbers. So just to make sure that it appears as you would like it to, on the right-hand side where it says edit public profile and URL, you would click. And then again, on the right-hand side, you'll now see the link to your profile with a little pencil. Okay. If I click on the pencil, it opens up the end of that link and I can modify the link. So for you to see my profile, I know it's linkedin.com/in/my name. So if you would like to just kind of make sure that that's squared away, again, we were in LinkedIn. in our profile. We clicked on Edit Public Profile and URL on the right-hand side. And when that opens up, you'll see the link and a pencil to edit the link. Now, for those of you who had mentioned being concerned about privacy, Christy had already given you some really great suggestions, but I also recommend that from here, where it says your public profile, this means anybody on LinkedIn who is not connected to you, what are you willing to let them see? Okay. Are you willing to let them see your profile photo? Are you willing to let them see your background info? So right beneath where you edit that link, if you scroll down, it says your profile's public visibility is on. I want people to find me. Now, once they find me, there are only certain things that they're allowed to see, and to see it all, they would need to send me a request. So the basic information, my name, the number of people I'm connected to, and the region. Where am I? City and state. My profile picture. You can choose to have your profile picture only visible to people who are directly connected to you on your network. You can have it with your network, which is your connection, up to 3 degrees away. So it's like the 3 degrees of separation. So the friend of a friend of a friend can see your picture. All LinkedIn members, so as long as they have a LinkedIn profile and they're logged in, they can see my picture. Or public, anybody can see my picture no matter where they find my LinkedIn profile. You can also choose to show or hide your background picture, your headline, your website, your summary, your activity, your current experience, your past experience, your education, certifications, languages, and recommendations. If you would like to keep something private or would not like it disclosed, you can just toggle this button from show to hide and they won't see it. So if all you want them to see is your name, how many people are on your network, where you are, and maybe your picture, you would hide the rest of this, okay? But that's another way to kind of safeguard your information a little bit more. All right, so I am back in LinkedIn, and the next thing that I would like to show you, once you have created your profile and updated it, let's go ahead and let's invite people to join our network. So once you are back on the home page, or if you can see the menu bar, just look for the tab or the button that says My Network up at the top. I click on that. And right now I have no pending invitations, so I don't have any invitations waiting for my approval. But if I did, they would show up here. As you start to grow your network, they will recommend people that you may know, so that if you are connected in any way, you can go ahead and say, let me go ahead and send them a request, okay? So these are other people I work with, or other people who have listed Miami Association of Realtors in their work experience, and I can go ahead and send them a request to connect simply by clicking on connect. So they do have suggestions based on education, where you work, where you have worked, similar job titles, whatnot. Now, once you have connected, you'll see the connections on the left-hand side. So right now I only have a little over 200. A lot of my activity and my network is really on Facebook and Instagram, believe it or not. I can add teammates, so I can go ahead and add in my team if I wanted to, but this is where I'm going to see who I'm connected to. If I click on connections or on the number, these are all of my connections. And then if I wanted to send them a message, I could pull them up. So again, I'm going to use Connie as an example, or Robert. But here's Connie. I can just click on message and send her a message. Okay. So again, I was in my network. Your pending invitations are here, as well as suggestions for you. And then on the left, if I click on the connections that I already have, I can then select a person to message if I would like to message them directly. You can also do so by simply going to messaging. So in the top menu bar, if I now click on messaging, I can read my messages, respond to them. But if I wanted to create a brand new message, I would click on this little sheet of paper with a pencil, type in who I'm going to send it to. I can type in multiple names. So if I wanted to send a message to Connie and to Robert, I could go ahead and add in various names and write a message. It's a private message, and it would go to Connie and Robert. Okay, so this is like your message center for your private direct messages. Now, the last thing that I would like to show you in LinkedIn is all of these connections. How do I download that information so that maybe I can go upload it into my CRM and enroll them in my drip campaigns? You would go back to the option that says me, which will have your picture once you've loaded it, and you go into settings and privacy. If I click on settings and privacy, make sure that you're in the privacy tab, right? And then on the left-hand side, you're gonna click on how LinkedIn uses your data. So make sure that up here where it says account, privacy, ads, communication, you are in the privacy tab. And on the left-hand side, you are going to click on how LinkedIn uses your data. And then you can get a copy of your data. So right here, when you ask for a copy of your data, you want something in particular. So you're gonna mark that option. And you are going to click on connections, which is your network on LinkedIn, and request it. When you request it, it tells you that it'll be ready in about 10 minutes, and it's gonna go ahead and download those 215 connections so that I can load them into my CRM and start a drip campaign or send them my just listed, just sold, etc. Okay, so again, how did I get there? One more time, just in case. I clicked on me in the top menu options. I clicked on settings and privacy. I made sure I was in the privacy section, and on the left-hand side, I clicked on the option that says how LinkedIn uses your data. From there, I can get a copy of my data by clicking on the option that says get a copy of your data. I want something in particular. I want my connections, and I can request it. And that would go ahead and download a copy of my connections, and then I can go upload it into my CRM. All right, so now that we have LinkedIn all set and ready to go, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to switch over to Instagram. So right now you should be seeing my phone screen, all right? This is the mobile application for LinkedIn. I use my phone more than I use the computer for my social media, but unfortunately, settings and editing of profiles is much easier on the computer. So once you've got it squared away, the likelihood that you'll log in on the computer might kind of diminish a little bit. But I do use my cell phone or my tablet for social media quite often. But this is the mobile app. Same as what I showed you on the computer. At the top, it says write a post. So I can go ahead and write a post. All right, I can scroll down and see what my connections are posting and what they have to say. By the way, if you need a lockbox, this is how we're distributing lockboxes. If you didn't know, we do have them on our doors. You go ahead, call us. We walk you through the process so that you can get a lockbox and or a key fob. So it's contactless, and it is at our headquarters location, our West Broward office, our Jupiter office, and our Coral Gables office. So we have 4 offices for you with lock boxes if you need them. But I can go ahead and see what everybody has kind of, posted. Now at the bottom, I have my buttons. So my home screen, my network, which is my network. I think someone sent me a request as I was teaching. So it says they're a real estate advisor. I'm gonna go ahead and say I accept them. And now we're connected on LinkedIn. That easy. I can go ahead and tap on that plus symbol with a post and post something. And then this is something that I was gonna post obviously during the holidays and I never did, so it saved the draft, but I can go ahead and post. I have my notifications and I have jobs, which is where you can again search for employment, or you can go ahead and also post if you're seeking employees. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about Instagram. So this is my Instagram business account. If you already have Instagram and you have a personal account, you can add an account and you can have up to 5 accounts on Instagram. Okay, so how do you add an account? Pretend that this is my personal Instagram and now I want to add a new account and make that my business account. I am very much a fan of keeping things separate. Not because I'm posting anything inappropriate in my personal account, because I'm really not. But just because If it's business, I want to make sure I have that separate from my personal, where I'm posting pictures of, you know, food and jokes and whatever, right? So I want to make sure that my business account is where I post all of my business related posts and where I am connected to those that are business connections. Okay, not to be redundant, but where I'm connected to those business colleagues and those customers. So how do I add an account? So let's say I wanted to add an account, and I think I'm maxed out already, but let's say I wanted to add an account. This is Instagram. This is the home screen. At the bottom of the screen, you'll notice that there is an icon with a house. That's the home screen, bottom left. There is a magnifying glass where I can search for other people. I can search for posts based on hashtags. I have a plus symbol where I can go ahead and post a picture or a video, or take a picture or video and post it. I have a heart. The heart is where I would see my notifications. And then bottom right, all the way at the end, I see my picture. So if I wanted to add an account, for those of you that would like to add a business account, I'm going to tap on that picture. And in the top right corner, I have 3 lines. Now, I am using an iPhone. If you're using an Android, you might see a slight difference, but it's usually set up the same way. So top right corner, there are 3 lines. I'm going to tap on those 3 lines. Okay, I am going to go into my settings. And now at the very bottom of the screen, you should see where it says add account. So again, how did I get there? I started on my home screen, right? Started on my home screen. This is where I can see what everybody's posting, what everybody's doing. And then what I did was, all the way at the bottom right where my picture is, I'm going to tap on that to get to my profile. And in the top right corner, there are 3 lines, which are my main menu options. I'm going to tap on those. Once these options open up, I'm going to open up my settings, which is my first option. And now at the bottom, it says add account. I can tap on add account. And it's telling me I can't because I already have 5. But when you tap on add account, it is going to ask you to sign in. So if you have created the account, you can sign in. However, if you are creating a brand new account, you would need to make sure that you tap on the option that says sign up so that you can create a new account. Now, please make sure that once you create the account, you have made it a business account. So if you notice on this very same screen, I have an option. It's about 4 down from the top that says business. And when I tap on business, it's showing that it's a business account. If you're not seeing that business option, your account was created, but it is not categorized as a business account. So to make sure you categorize it as a business account, you would go to the option that says account, which is toward the bottom of the screen. And then mine says switch to a personal account, but it's already a business account, so I'm going to leave it alone. If yours says switch to a business account or profile, you're going to go ahead and switch. It's going to walk you through a couple of steps, and it'll convert your profile to a business account. Why is it so important to have a business account on Instagram, Facebook? Because it allows you to create ads. If you create an account, sure, you can post, you can connect with people, not a problem. But when I want to promote something, a listing, a workshop, an open house, and I want to pay a few dollars here and there to have it promoted, I cannot do that unless I am working with a business account or profile. Okay? So that's one of the main reasons that you need to make sure that you have a business account or profile on Facebook and Instagram. All right? Another thing, when I am working with a personal account, I don't really get any space to put a link, whereas when I'm working with a business account, I have a link, and I went ahead and just added a link tree. So if you notice in my profile, it says that I'm a real estate instructor for Miami Realtors, serving more than 50,000 members. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook. And then there's a funny little link that says link tree, and there's a /. If someone were to tap on that, which I can't get my fingers to tap on, of course, but if they were to open that up, they would be able to see the list of my links. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and edit my profile. So once you have created your account and made sure it is a business account, from this very same location where your profile is, there is a button that says edit profile. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and tap on edit profile. And this is where I would be able to change my picture, okay, my name. This time around, I'm not just putting Maggie or Maggie Curiel, putting Maggie Real Estate Instructor. My username, my website, let me make sure it's got that www, my little biography. I've already connected it to Facebook, which I will show you how to do, so don't worry, hold tight. And then at the bottom, I have private information, and that is private. Nobody sees that, but that is there just in case I forget my password and I need to recover my account. That's the information they're going to use to do so. Once you've got this squared away, you're going to tap on done. Okay, your profile is set up. Very easy. Instagram is all about pictures, videos, short and to the point. It isn't where I'm going to post very long things. If I wanted to post something a little longer, they have created Igtv. We don't really delve into it because at that point you're talking about editing videos, and there are tons of different options for editing software, but you can go ahead and jump into Igtv if you want to post things that are longer than a minute. All right, so I am going to go back to my home screen now that my profile is set up. So I'm going to tap on that little house at the bottom left, and I am back on my home screen. This is where I would see what is being posted by the people that I have connected with. And remember, if I wanted to connect with someone, I could just go ahead and tap on the magnifying glass at the bottom and look them up, and go ahead and tap on follow or request and request them. But this is where I would see what they're posting, and I would see what's going on. Now, if I like something, I can just, double tap it. So let's say I like this. I'm going to go ahead and double tap. And that's it, I liked it. If I want to leave a comment, next to that little heart, there's a chat bubble. The comment is public. So anyone else who is following this person will see what I commented. And then next to that little bubble, you'll see a triangle. It's supposed to be a paper airplane. And that's if I wanted to send this in a message. So if I wanted, Christy to see this, I could search for Christy. There she is. And I can tap on send at the bottom and send it to Christy. And now I sent Christy this post in a private message. All the way to the right of that picture, in that same row of icons, there's this little bookmark. And that's if I wanted to save this and come back to it later. This comes in really handy if someone posts a listing or, post something interesting and I want to go back to it in an event. How many times haven't you said, let me just go to their profile? And then you go to their profile and you can't find it. Well, if I bookmark it by tapping on that little bookmark, this specific post is saved. All right, now where does it save? I go back to my profile on the bottom right. I go back to those 3 lines in the top right. And if you notice, there is an option that says saved about halfway through the menu. And if I tap on saved, there are the posts that I have saved and bookmarked. Okay, so again, how do you get back to a post once you've saved it? Where does it go? You're going to tap on your profile on the bottom right. You're going to tap on the 3 lines in the top right. And halfway down the menu options, it'll say saved or bookmarked. And here we go. Here are the posts that I've saved. Okay. I'm going to go back to my home screen. So that's what's going on, and that's how you can interact with what other people are posting. Now, at the very top of the screen on the left, I have a small camera, and top right, I have a small triangle. So that small triangle is my message center or my inbox. And this is where I would see messages that I have sent or messages that have been sent to me. It's your inbox. So this is where you would see that activity and that dialogue back and forth. Okay. Now, Instagram stories. So I'm going to go ahead and tap on the camera in the top left, and that's going to take me into Instagram stories. Okay. This is my keyboard, sorry. All right. So let's say I wanted to post. Well, if you notice at the top, I've got some settings. I've got the lightning bolt. Now, what you have access to in Instagram stories depends on a few things. So I might go through some features that you don't have. I'm going to put this down so that it doesn't bother anybody. You might not have some features, either A, because of your phone and the version of the operating system or the version of the app. B, it could be that I have certain things because they were there when I got my account and maybe they've changed them, but because I had them, they've left them there. So some of these things you might not have, but you'll have eventually or it's not a deal breaker. It doesn't affect you that badly. It doesn't affect you really, okay? So I am now in Instagram stories. All the way at the bottom of the screen, I see a little square where I can go ahead and open up a picture I've taken and post it in IG stories if I wanted to. Or if you notice, I'm just kind of moving these along with my finger at the bottom. These are my different options. This is what I wanted to show you. So if I wanted to go live, I would open up IG stories, look for that live option all the way at the bottom of the screen, and I would be able to go live. So if I have a virtual open house, if I have a brand new listing and I just want to go live and show people and do like a virtual tour, I can go ahead and do so. When you are done, you can save it so that it stays in your Instagram stories for 24 hours, or you can just not save it and whoever saw it, whoever didn't see it, missed out. But IG stories, Instagram stories live is something that people have been using more and more, especially given the current situation. So how did I get here? Again, from the home screen, I tapped on that little home icon. Top left corner, there's a camera. I tapped on the camera and I'm in Instagram stories. If this is the first time you have logged into Instagram stories, it will ask you for permission to use your microphone and your camera and access to your pictures. So if you wanted to pull anything in, you could. All right. Now, I can also just create if I want to type something. So if I just want to make like a quick little announcement and say, hey, I've got an open house Saturday, 10 to 2, come by or message me for more information, I can go ahead and just type something out. Normal is where I can go ahead and take a picture or hold down that button in the center and record a video. But they also have all these fun filters that you can kind of scroll through to make things a little more interesting or visually appealing if you want to have fun with it. But if you just want to keep it 100% as is, you can just keep it on normal, not worry about the filters. If you tap the button, it takes a picture. If you hold it, it records a video. You have Boomerang, which will take the action and loop it. So if you've seen those videos of people, you know, maybe jumping in the air or making a funny face or, you know, pretending they're opening the door to their first home, those are boomerangs. Takes a small action and it puts it on repeat. So you can have fun with this. Layout is a nice way to promote a listing because I can create a collage with different pictures. So as long as I've got the pictures for the property on my phone, I can go ahead and choose my layout, right? And let's say I just want to do a 4x4 or a 2x2, I should say. Post 4 pictures, type in, you know, message me for more information and put some really nice pictures of the property, and I can go ahead and do that. Super zoom is just fun. It's going to go ahead and zoom into different features and use different sound effects to kind of enhance it. They're meant to be fun, lighthearted, funny. So you have super zoom. And hands-free is if I want to just prop my phone up on a counter or prop it up in and put it in a tripod, let's say. I tap, I don't have to hold the phone. I can step away, I can talk. And then when I'm done, I can just tap on the button to finish. Or if you want to be fancy and use a Bluetooth remote, you can go ahead and do that. Or you can even use maybe your Apple Watch. Haven't tried it, but it's possible. All right. So again, IG stories, Instagram stories, I think the feature that has become super important is going live. So make sure if you want to get there, you tap on that camera in the top left corner. And then at the bottom, select the option that says live and you can go live. Okay. So someone recently asked if you're using Instagram stories and you're kind of getting used to it and you don't want to post what you did, but you just want to kind of get your feel for it. You can practice and not post it, right? So if I wanted to go into Instagram stories and I wanted to just take a picture of the keyboard or a video, right? There it is. It still hasn't been posted. If you notice at the bottom on the left, it says your stories. So it goes nowhere until I tap on that button. I can have it published just for my close friends, quote unquote, or I can send it to someone one-on-one in a private message. But yes, you can go ahead and practice and start adding, you know, written things and stickers and whatnot, which are all in the top right, and not post it. If I don't like it, you'll notice it in the top left, there's an X. So if I don't want to post it, I tap on that X, I discard, and that's it. Okay, so feel free to kind of play around with it. And if you don't want to post it, just click on the X and it won't go anywhere. No one will see it until you get comfortable with it. One last thing I wanted to show you, and they will go over it again in social media part 4. But if I go back to my profile and I tap on those 3 lines, something that I like to look at are the insights. So you'll notice the 3rd option says insights. And this lets me know what's going on with my post. So how many people have seen it. If you can see, 216 people saw my post about facial coverings. And this is for the week of July 13th through the 20th. If I click on activity or tap on activity, I can see when my account has reached its peak. So basically, when are people really paying attention to what I'm posting? When is my account getting traffic? And it seems like Thursdays are a good day for me. This is important for me to know, because if I'm going to create an ad, maybe I'm going to create an ad that runs from Thursday to Sunday, because I get a very, very little bit of activity Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So this is important to see. What's your activity like, and what days are best for you? What days is your account getting the most traffic? If I look at my audience, I can see what's going on overall with my account, the top locations, the age range. So for me, I'm looking at anywhere from 25 to 44. I've got almost half and half, 54% are women, 46% are men. And then this is also really important. What time of the day are they looking? What time of the day am I getting more traffic? Because it says here, I get the most traffic at 3 and at 9. I'm not going to post something at 10 o'clock in the morning, knowing based on what I see at the bottom, when or what time of day I get the most traffic. If I switch over to days, again, the darkest one is Wednesday. So knowing that, here we go, Wednesdays. I get the most traffic between, it looks around 6 and 9. So when am I going to post things? Wednesdays around 6 or 9, because that's when I'm getting the most traffic. So I love looking at insights on Instagram and on Facebook to get an idea of when people are paying attention to the things I'm posting, so that I can keep posting on those days and at those times. Now, if you would like to run an ad on Instagram, you tap on that menu option again. Okay, and you go to your settings, and you'll see that under business or under ads, you'll be able to kind of run it. So they will obviously ask you for payment, but if I tap on ads, I can go ahead and see my ad activity. If I wanted to post, I recommend that you post through Facebook just because it's a little easier, but I can go ahead and run ads here as well. Okay, anytime I post something, you'll notice here in my post, it says boost post. You do have to post it first. So if I have a listing and I have these beautiful pictures or a beautiful video, I'm gonna go ahead and post it. Once it's been posted, I'm gonna pull it up on my profile, tap on boost post. It wants to use my Facebook because my account information already has a credit card on Facebook. I would go ahead and say yes, and then it would go ahead and take me to that, okay? So you have to post it first, and then you can run an ad. The last thing that I have to show you is, now that you have Instagram, how do you connect Facebook and Instagram? Easiest way to do this is on the computer. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to jump back on the computer. So I am back on the computer and I am on my business page. Okay, here's my Facebook business page. What I'm gonna do is, right here on the right-hand side in this little white bar, it says settings. Those are the settings for my business page. I'm going to click into the settings. And then on the left-hand side, you have all these menu options. You have an option for Instagram. I'm going to click on Instagram. Mine is already connected, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect it for you guys so that you can see how to connect it. All right, so I click on Instagram and there's a button that says connect account. I click on that. And I'm going to make sure to type in my username for my business account and my password for that account. I click on login. I give the computer or the account a second or two, and it usually refreshes. It's refreshing now. And there's my business account. That's it. It's that easy. So you go to your business page on Facebook, click on settings in the top right corner, right here. And then on the left-hand side, go into Instagram and you'll see a button that says connect. You'll supply the username and password for your business account and it will connect. You can only have one account connected to one business page. So I cannot have this same Instagram business account attached to another business page. It's one for one, okay? One to one. I can't have it connected to various places. It creates all kinds of glitches when you're posting. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is officially the end of social media series part 3. But I hope everyone has a lovely afternoon. Again, stay safe. And thank you so much for attending.